CEO of a major healthcare company was assassinated by a gunman who authorities are now working to identify.
One of the most popular restaurants in the country is telling customers to expect higher prices. KSTV has consumer updates and more.
Learn all about how Elon Musk helped fund President-elect Donald Trump's campaign.
I'm live outside right now on campus. Hear what I have to say about the cold and snowy weather very soon.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Good evening, Portage County. Thank you so much for joining us for this final edition of KSTV News at 5 this semester. I'm Michael Neenan.
And I'm Tyler Schlosser.
You know something, Tyler? All this snow coming down means that skating is finally in season.
I'm so excited, and our very own Jillian Flack is here in the studio to tell us about a local rink. Hi, Jillian.
Hey guys, I spent some time earlier today in downtown Akron at Lock 3 Park to check out their new outdoor ice rink, which just celebrated its grand opening after a year of construction.
Well, Lock 3 is kind of like the city's living room in a way. It's like the place where everybody comes to go downtown to have an enjoyable afternoon experience. Now that it's been reopened, it's much more of like a park that you can go to 365 days a year.
Lock 3 has two different surfaces of ice. One is reserved for ice skating, while the other is used for ice bumper cars and private parties, which can be booked online. In addition, they have a snack bar and holiday decorations for the community to enjoy. People can skate for $5 and rent a pair of ice skates out for an additional $5. The Lock 3 Ice Arena will be open throughout the winter most days of the week. Specific times can be found at the City of Akron's website. Reporting for KSTV News, I'm Jillian Flack.
Thank you, Jillian. The Festival of Lights is a holiday-themed event tomorrow from 5:30 to 8:30 at the gazebo at the corner of Main Street and Franklin Avenue. Organized by the Kent Area Chamber of Congress, the event includes a special appearance from Santa Claus at 6:30. Those attending should be sure to dress for the freezing temperatures.
And Kent State's wide-reaching charity event from November 1st to Giving Tuesday has wrapped up after donating just under $5 million to charity. The event had over 60 pledges to donate to for things across the university, usually things like scholarships and programs. A large source of revenue came from associates of Kent State agreeing to match large amounts of donations.
For those interested in going to graduate school for art, the Grad Studio Crawl is a tour of the Studio Art Master of Fine Arts graduate studios today from 4 to 6:30 p.m. at the Center for Visual Arts. The crawl begins in room 176 for showing of the textile room before finishing at the print and media photography room.
Your first forecast on Kent Stater TV.
Hey guys, thanks. I'm outside right now, just in front of Franklin Hall. I'm on campus. It is really looking like almost a winter wonderland out here. It was snowing a little bit yesterday, off and on, and especially last night, but conditions have gotten a little better and it's not snowing anymore, but people are still in the snowy and winter spirit right now. Just behind me, we see sledders behind us, so that is super cool. It's really great that people are getting into the holiday spirit with Christmas just around the corner, so stay tuned for more. And right now, so currently the temperatures right now outside are 28 degrees, but it does feel like 18 degrees. So with the wind and just the cooler temperatures, it's making it feel a little cooler. So I definitely recommend if you're outside walking around or if you have somewhere to go, definitely bundle up, I would say. It might not be snowing right now, but it's still important to wear a hat and scarf and just gloves and really prepare for the weather. And so yeah, just I would recommend bundling up, and that is pretty much all I have for you. Stay tuned as we head into the holidays for the weather, and back to you guys.
Thank you, Aiden. The body cam footage of an Akron police officer who shot and killed a 15-year-old boy has been released. Here's Akron Mayor Shamas Malik with a statement on the shooting.
These videos, I know there will be many questions. We do know that 2 shell casings were recovered in the northeast portion of Miller South, and that those are being tested against the gun that was recovered. I think anytime we have young people in our community carrying weapons, we have to ask ourselves why, and we have to work to change that.
At 11 p.m. on Thanksgiving night, 15-year-old Jasmine Tucker was shot and killed by Akron police responding to an unrelated call of gunshots in the area. Mayor Shamas Malik claims that upon exiting their vehicle, one of the officers allegedly saw that Jasmine Tucker had a firearm and discharged his weapon. Jasmine Tucker has been taken to the hospital where he died from injuries he sustained. Both officers involved in the shooting have been placed on administrative leave. Now, a Change.org petition has over 700 signatures demanding the officer that shot Tucker be fired.
And the Ohio Supreme Court has determined that the names of the 8 Akron police officers involved in Jalen Walker's death do not need to be released. This is after the incident in 2022 where Jalen was shot over 40 times during and after a vehicular pursuit. The case was settled with Jalen's family receiving over $4 million.
The energy company Shell pled guilty to their role in the Ohio House 6 bill scandal, according to Summit County prosecutors. Scandal was part of the late and former Public Utilities Commission Chair Sam Randazzo's corruption scheme to funnel millions of dollars from the Sustainability Funding Alliance of Ohio. Shell has been ordered to pay $2 million in penalties.
Gail Pavliga, a Portage representative of Ohio's House, is using her last month in Congress to push House Bill 686, which would ban public colleges from asking about preferred pronouns on college applications. The goal is to prevent colleges from discriminating against conservative applicants who are more likely to ignore the question. But it would also prevent colleges from using these preferred terms in their first contact with potential students.
Ohio House Bill 8, also known as the Parents' Rights Bill, is expected to move to the Ohio Senate for voting next week. The bill was introduced with the purpose of allowing parents to opt out of their children learning sexuality content. The bill would also require schools to notify parents about changes in their child's mental, emotional, and physical health. Critics of the bill say that it does not do enough to create safeguards for students who are in the LGBTQ+ community. An earthquake off the West Coast put parts of California and Oregon on tsunami watch. Find out what the response was to the disaster.
Woo! Come on! Go, Diane! Yeah, keep it going! Yeah! Go, honey!
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the-right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Throw that ball, Diane! Woo! You got this!
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. How could you not love him?
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly.
Lights out.
Good night. And put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
The hunt for the suspect behind the shocking assassination of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson is going into its third day. CNN's Amy Kiley has the latest.
The moment they had a pretty good facial photo, it was almost ball game over.
Experts say new evidence could be key to finding the suspect in United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson's murder. Surveillance video shows the face of a man police say is wanted for questioning. They say this is from a hostel where he pulled down his mask and smiled at a female employee.
I think we're lucky that we have a lot of surveillance. Obviously, we want more. And if anybody has any more information or surveillance, we want them to come forward.
Experts say law enforcement can use evidence to piece together a timeline that eventually could lead to an arrest. For instance, police now believe the suspect took a Greyhound bus to New York that originated in Atlanta.
NYPD and the FBI have a great ability to pull together video surveillance and piece it together moment by moment by moment and follow somebody through any camera available.
And it's not just video evidence. Authorities say they think the suspect dropped a burner phone and a water bottle an official says has a smudged fingerprint. Investigators say they found the words depose and delay written on a shell casing and live round at the scene. A popular insurance industry phrase is delay, deny, defend.
The moment an identity is fully established, things move very quickly towards arrest.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
From winter close to social media, business never stops and neither do our updates.
And here to fill us in is our own correspondent, Gage Wellman. How's it going, Gage?
Well, thank you guys. And yes, the consumer world is rapidly changing, so I'm here to break down the updates and developments today. So let's get right into it. And in a story that is sure to frustrate lots of people, Chipotle announcing yesterday that their prices will increase. The restaurant says customers can expect a 2% price increase due to inflation increasing the price of ingredients such as avocados and dairy. Chipotle also revealed that food, beverage, and packaging costs are all higher compared to 2023. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reported today that the U.S. added nearly 230,000 jobs in the month of November. This is not the only good news, as lower interest rates often follow job growth. Job gains were seen in the healthcare department, leisure and hospitality, and in the government. Worker pay also increased in the month of November by a rate of 0.4%. Now, one of the longest standing battles on Capitol Hill has been the movement to ban TikTok from app stores in America. A U.S. appeals court ruled today that a TikTok ban would not be unconstitutional, and the Chinese parent company that owns TikTok, known as ByteDance, will be forced to find a new owner if the app is to stay in the States. In a counterstatement, TikTok representatives did indicate that they would appeal the ruling. Now, for updates on these stories and more, go to KentWire.com, but I will be back for more. So for now, I believe my friend Aiden Graves has information on the weather.
A tsunami warning was sent out on the West Coast after earthquake was detected off the coast of Northern California and Southern Oregon yesterday morning. The earthquake was measured at a magnitude 7. While no deaths were reported, communities on the coast reported broken water mains and dislodged houses. California Governor Gavin Newsom signed an emergency declaration to help with disaster response.
President-elect Trump has just announced his nominee for the Customs and Border Patrol Commissioner. We'll give you all of their information.
Morning. Hope you all had a good weekend and are ready to be inspired. One quick thing I want to remind you guys to be studying.
Major key alert. Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Class, today we're talking about inspirational quotes.
You want to get that paper? You better turn in that paper and get an A+. That's a major key. Another one. Mogul talk. You want to reach the mountaintop? You got to go hard. To succeed, you have to believe. Stay focused. Fly higher than the eagle. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote from recent history?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at GetSchool.com.
The collaboration between Kent State and the Cleveland Museum of Natural History is a long-standing one.
Dr. Aaron's experimental lab is really state-of-the-art. It's known internationally.
We can recreate any artifact from the last 3 million years, and the Cleveland Museum of Natural History has pretty much any tool that ancient people use. So we send our students up here to study those examples so they can figure out how to recreate them. And the collaboration led to incredible discoveries right here in Ohio. And it's a dream come true.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Your community.
Your stories.
Yesterday marks 1 month since President-elect Donald Trump's victory in the 2024 presidential election.
And our correspondent Amelia Hernandez is here to provide us updates on the latest political news. What can you tell us, Amelia?
Good afternoon, guys. Today I'm here. That's right, I'm here to tell you some stories about the Trump administration. The first of which concerns Elon Musk. New filings with the Federal Election Commission show that Elon Musk spent at least $250 million to help President-elect Donald Trump elect Donald Trump. According to the filings, the Tesla CEO gave a $238 million to Super PAC that he founded this year, named America PAC. America PAC worked to turn out voters in key states on Trump's behalf. Musk was also the financial backings of other groups supporting Trump. Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy met on Capitol Hill to discuss their Department of Government efficiency with House and Senate Republicans. They plan to cut $2 trillion in government spending. 70% of government spending, not including interest, goes to programs like Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and more. If these are spared, experts expect large cuts to food stamps, housing aid, food safety inspections, and infrastructure. President-elect Donald Trump has announced David Sachs as the White House's AI and crypto czar. In this position, Sachs would oversee America's policy on artificial intelligence and cryptocurrency. Sachs was the chief operating officer for PayPal in the company's early days, and is currently the leader of a venture capital firm and hosts a podcast that interviewed Trump in June. The president-elect has announced Rodney Scott as his pick for Customs and Border Protection Commissioner, and Caleb Vitello as his pick to be the acting director of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, otherwise known as ICE. Scott is the former head of the U.S. Border Patrol, while Vitello currently works at ICE as the Assistant Director for the Office of Firearms and Tactical Programs. Well, that's all I have for today, folks. For more stories like this, go to KentWire.com. I'm Emilio Hernandez, and we'll have more for you later, Portage County.
Informed and ahead of the storm, this is your KSTV weather.
Good evening, everyone. Once again, I'm Aiden Graves, here to bring you the latest updates on the weather. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas here in Kent, and we've seen some snowfall over the past few days, and I'll give you the current weather and what's ahead tonight and tomorrow, so you'll be prepared to stay warm for the season. So currently in Kent right now, you saw I was out earlier, but it is currently 25 degrees out. It is mostly cloudy with a few sprinkles of snow here and there. It was really snowing last night and into today, but that has kind of dissipated and gone away. There is a wind chill right now, and it's making it feel like 15 degrees out, and the winds are coming in at 10 miles an hour right now. And if we look at an hourly forecast, it'll mostly be in the 20s all throughout tonight. Again, with the wind chill, it'll be feeling like it's a little colder, so just be aware of that. So at 7, it'll be 24 degrees, and then the same thing at 10, and it'll drop down to 23 at midnight. There is a really slight chance of precipitation, but it'll mostly be clear skies for tonight. And if we look ahead at tomorrow's weather, it'll mostly be 34 degrees throughout the day. Again, it'll be cloudy with some wind. And as that wind comes in, it will make it feel a little bit colder. So make sure you are bundling up and wearing a hat and just warmer clothes and a scarf. And there will be a slight precipitation tomorrow as well. And that's all the weather updates I have for now, but I'll be back to bring more very soon. Back to you guys at the desk.
A synagogue in Australia caught fire in what authorities believe was an act of arson and a possible act of anti-Semitism.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
At Kent State University, student athletes from around the world find their home away from home.
My dream has always been to come to the United States and play basketball on a college level.
I'm going to be the first graduate in my family. It's a big thing for me.
The faculty members here at Kent State are incredible.
I feel like Kent State, it has all the opportunity in the world.
Northeast Ohio is the ideal place for them to excel athletically and academically. From the moment they arrive, students are surrounded by a network of support that helps them thrive and achieve their dreams.
We are a family, so helping each other out is one of the most important things.
Straight away, I knew I had people that I could count on. As soon as I got here, between coaches, friends that I met pretty early on, I feel like this is a second home now.
This is the place. This is it.
Coach Starkey, he always asks about how you're doing.
Our coaches are so supportive. They make you better athletes, and so many of those qualities are transferable. You're going to come out of here being a successful student athlete.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score.
So I'm pre-approved.
You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Well, Tyler, I've never skated before. Have you?
I have not, but tell you what, there's a perfect opportunity for us maybe to go together because a new local skating rink is open up, and I hope my good friend Jillian Flack here in the studio can tell us more about it. What do you have for us, Jillian?
Hey guys, thanks. That's right, this morning I went down to Akron and I got to visit Lock 3's new ice arena after the park underwent construction for over a year. Let's go check it out. As winter arrives, Akron is kicking off the season with their outdoor ice arena. Located at Lock 3 Park, it opened right after Thanksgiving after a year of construction for the community.
Well, Lock 3 is kind of like the city's living room in a way. It's like the place where everybody comes to go downtown to have an enjoyable afternoon experience.
Lock 3 offers 2 outdoor ice rinks and other activities for people who don't want to skate. They also have a large array of decorations outside, and they have a snack bar for hot chocolate for guests. When people get cold, they have outdoor igloos that people can go in.
It's a completely different space. It's so much more accessible. I think there's only like 9 steps in the entire park.
The newly opened family-friendly space is bringing back holiday traditions to Northeast Ohio.
Lock 3 has always done ice skating, or they've done it for many years now. They've done sort of like putting up the traditional holiday displays. They have Archie the Talking Snowman, which if you're from Northeast Ohio, from Akron area, you know about Archie.
Nonprofits like Downtown Akron Partnership are helping make Lock 3 a year-round event space.
It feels like really purposeful. It feels like there's a narrative there. Like when you get there, you feel like you're sort of experiencing something, which is really cool, and not not something that you get with public spaces all the time. So we're really lucky about that.
The rink is going to be open throughout the winter on most days of the week. The City of Akron's website has the times along with other events the park is going to hold in the future. Reporting for Kent Stater TV, I'm Jillian Flack.
Kent State's wide-reaching charity event from November 1st to Giving Tuesday has wrapped up after donating just under $5 million to charity. The event had over 60 pledges to donate to for things across the university, usually things like scholarships and programs. One example was the Honors College's Diamond Scholarship that raised over $22,000 by itself.
Those interested in getting some holiday spirit in the Kent area will look no further. Tomorrow, the Festival of Lights comes to Kent from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. at the gazebo in the corner of Main Street and Franklin Avenue. Organized by the Kent Area Chamber of Commerce, there will be a special appearance from Santa Claus at 6:30.
And the Kent State School of Art is hosting their annual Grad Studio Crawl. This is an open event where an audience will be guided through several art studios to look at multiple displays made by Kent's graduate art students. The tour will follow in this order: textiles, painting and drawing, sculpture and expanded media, ceramics, glass, jewelry and metalwork, and finally, print media and photography.
Your first forecast on Kent Stater TV.
Hi again, everyone. I'm Aiden Graves, back with more weather updates for Kent and the surrounding areas. As we head further into December and celebrate the holidays, it's important to put on your winter clothes so you'll be prepared to stay warm. Here's a look at the current weather around Ohio and what's next for next week. So currently the temperatures around Ohio right now are mostly in the 30s and the high 20s. We have down in Cincinnati, it is 32 degrees right now. And then if you take a look at Columbus, it's at 30 degrees. And Akron and Canton is at 28 degrees. So temperatures have come up a little bit from the past few days. But again, in the evenings with the wind chills, it will be a little colder than usual. So make sure to dress appropriately. And if we look ahead further into the northeast Ohio region, it is again mostly into the high 20s and the mid 20s. We have Mansfield at 28 and Akron and Canton at 28. And of course, if we look at Kent, it's at 27 right now. And then if we look ahead to next week's weather, for our 7-day forecast, the temperatures will mostly be the same, mostly in the 20s and into the 30s. It will get up a little bit into the 40s there on Sunday and Monday. It'll be partly cloudy on Sunday, and then when we head into next week, it will get a little bit rainy on Monday and Tuesday, and then we will see some more snow headed our way on Wednesday with 32% chance. And then later in the week on Thursday and Friday, it'll mostly be in the 20s and a little bit into the high 30s with partly sunny skies. So as always, as we head into the holidays, make sure you dress appropriately and stay warm. And that's all I have for now, but I'll be back for more updates very soon, and I'll give you a look at my weather prediction for Kent State's graduation ceremony on December 14th. Stay tuned.
15-year-old Jasmine Tucker was shot to death by Akron police on Thanksgiving night. His family recently held a press conference demanding cooperation and transparency from the APD. The mayor also weighed in on the situation.
As our community watches these videos, I know there will be many questions. We do know that 2 shell casings were recovered in the northeast portion of Miller South, and that those are being tested against the gun that was recovered. I think anytime we have young people in our community carrying weapons, we have to ask ourselves why, and we have to work to change that.
At 11 p.m. on Thanksgiving night, 15-year-old Jasmine Tucker was shot and killed by Akron police responding to an unrelated call of gunshots in the area. Mayor Shamas Malik claims that upon exiting their vehicle, one of the officers allegedly saw that Jasmine Tucker was carrying a firearm, and the officer discharged his weapon. Jasmine Tucker later died of his injuries at the hospital. Both officers involved in the shooting have been placed on administrative leave. Now a Change.org petition has over 700 signatures demanding that the officer that shot Tucker be fired.
The Ohio Supreme Court has determined that the names of the 8 Akron police officers involved in Jalen Walker's death do not need to be released. This is after the incident in 2022 where Jalen was shot over 40 times during and after a vehicular pursuit. The decision was made considering that it was determined that Jalen fired the first shot and that the officers were at risk of violent public response. The case was settled with the Jalen family receiving over $4 million.
The energy company Shell pled guilty in connection to their role in the Ohio House Bill 6 scandal, according to the Summit County prosecutor. The scandal was part of the late and former Public Utilities Commission Chair, Sam Randazzo's corruption scheme to funnel millions from the Sustainability Funding Alliance of Ohio. Shell has been ordered to pay $2 million in penalties.
Gail Pavliga, a Portage representative of Ohio's House, is using her last months in Congress to push House Bill 686, which would ban public colleges from asking about preferred pronouns on college applications. This is a similar MO to her January activities when, alongside fellow Portage Representative Steve Demetrio, she overrode Governor Mike DeWine's veto to push through a bill banning gender reassignment surgery and hormone blockers in the state. This was in the fine print of a bill primarily banning trans women from women's sports teams.
Ohio House Bill 8 is expected to move to the Ohio Senate for voting next week. Also referred to as the Parents' Rights Bill, the legislation is intended to allow parents to opt their children out of what the bill calls, quote, sexuality content, end quote. The bill would require schools to notify parents about changes in their child's mental, emotional, and physical health. Critics of the bill say it does not create enough safeguards for students who are in the LGBTQ+ community.
Paris's Notre Dame Cathedral is ready to reopen. We'll give you updates on how it looks and when you can see it for yourself later tonight.
Conference foes faced off under the lights in prime time. Who could come out on top in this pivotal matchup? I have the highlights and more after this.
Welcome to my block party. Glad you can make it. I can do this all day. Your moves are just gay.
Using gay to mean dumb or stupid, not cool. Not in my house, not anywhere. It's not creative, it's offensive to gay people. And you're better than that.
Brush, brushy, brush, brushy, brush, brush your teeth. Every day and every night. Now it's your parents' turn. Here's what you gotta do. Let them have your toothbrush so that they can brushy brush your teeth. Great job, you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Help your teeth stay healthy. Brushy brush with a grown-up every day.
Good morning. Hope you all had a good weekend and are ready to be inspired. One quick thing I want to remind you guys to be studying.
Major key alert. Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Today we're talking about inspirational quotes.
You want to get that paper? You better turn in that paper and get an A+. That's a major key. Another one. Mogul talk. You want to reach the mountaintop? You got to go hard. To succeed, you have to believe. Stay focused. Fly higher than the eagle. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote from recent history?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
I felt accomplished after I got my diploma. Made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
This is your Kent Stater TV Sports Report.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Maddox Miller, and between the playoff hunt and postseasons, the sports world is full of action. So let's not wait and get right into it. Starting on the court, the Kent State women's basketball team traveled to take on Niagara University yesterday. The Flashes improved to 5-4 on the season with a 89-73 victory over the Purple Eagles. The team was led by the guard duo of Maya Babbitt and Jenna Batch, who scored 23 and 22 points respectively. Looking ahead, the Golden Flashes won't be back in action until December 16th, where they will return to host Virginia University of Lynchburg as they look to start a winning streak over winter break. Heading back home, the Kent State men's basketball team will welcome Portland University tonight at 7 o'clock. The team will seek to make it 2 wins in a row after last week's win over Kennesaw State. To do so, they will look to senior forward Von Cameron Davis, who leads the team averaging 14.5 points per game, and graduate guard Morgan Safford, who is second on the team in both points and rebounds with 11.3 and 5.4 per game. This game will be the first of 2 straight home games for the Flashes as they will play host to Mercyhurst on December 15th, and both of these games can be streamed on ESPN+. Now moving to the gridiron, it's conference championship week for college football, with 9 games being played today, and tomorrow champions will be crowned and playoff spots will be solidified. So let's take a look at some of the major games coming up this weekend. Starting today, UNLV takes on Boise State in the Mountain West Championship. I have Boise winning this and clinching a playoff spot. Looking at tomorrow, Arizona State faces off against Iowa State in the Big 12 Championship. I see Arizona State winning this as well as clinching a playoff spot in the upcoming playoffs. Next up, the SEC Championship between Georgia and Texas, where I have the Georgia Bulldogs taking this and taking a first-round bye. After that is the ACC Championship, where SMU takes on Clemson, and I have the Clemson Tigers pulling off the upset to steal a spot in the CFP. Finally, the Big Ten Championship that sees Penn State facing off against Oregon. I predict a dominant Oregon Ducks win to solidify themselves as the best team in CFB. Now moving to prime time, the Lions took on the Green Bay Packers in Thursday night, and in the second quarter, the waning moments, Jared Goff found Jahmyr Gibbs for a 17-7 lead, but Jordan Love would come out firing in the second half as he finds Tucker Kraft to make it 14-17, and Detroit looking to maintain their lead. Jared Goff would be intercepted by Keyshawn Nixon here in the third quarter, who would take it deep into Detroit territory to set up a scoring drive led by running back Josh Jacobs, who'd get the handoff here and would break multiple tackles as he fights his way into the end zone to be his second touchdown of the game. But Detroit would respond with another 4th down touchdown, this time to Tim Patrick, his first since 2021. But the Packers would answer with Josh Jacobs' 3rd touchdown on the night to make it 28-24. But on 3rd and goal, Jared Goff would find Tim Patrick again to make it a 31-28 victory. The Packers would kick a field goal, and on 4th and inches in Green Bay territory, the Lions went for it, and David Montgomery would get the first down to set up this Jake Bates game-winning 35-yard field goal for Detroit to improve to 12-1 on their season, 34-31 final. The NBA Cup tournament begins play on December 10th, and with the Lakers not making it, a new champion will be crowned. So let's bring in our anchors to get their predictions on which of the 8 remaining teams will take the Cup. Michael, we will start with you. What do you have for the NBA Cup?
You know, I have the Hawks beating the Mavericks. Look, these 2 teams are kind of bottom feeders right now. Well, perhaps mid at best. And I think that the NBA Cup really favors teams that get hot, being that it is a single elimination format. And the Hawks are just playing out of their mind right now in NBA Cup play, even though they're about 500 overall on the regular season. I just think that it really favors stars, and it really favors teams that are kind of going on a little win streak. As you can see, the Mavs are on a 6-game winning streak at the moment. So, you know what, give me the Hawks over the Mavs in the NBA Cup final.
Trae Young versus Luka, it would be a very fun matchup. Tyler, what do you have? Who do you have taking the NBA Cup?
Well, personally, I don't really follow the NBA, admittedly, but my dad is a die-hard Knicks fan. He went to New York once, and it feels like he never came back. So, you know, in homage, I'm going to put the Knicks up there beating the Thunder. And I haven't been following much of the other side of the bracket, but from what I've heard over the course of the newsroom, you and Michael and Shango going back and forth, I've heard good things, so I'm going to put them up there, but not all the way up. That's going to go to the Knicks.
It would be one of the first championships the Knicks have won in a long time. And me personally, I have the Rockets beating the Magic, 2 very young and fun teams. I think the Magic would have to pull off some upsets to get to the Cup final, but I think it would be great for an upstart franchise like Orlando, and it would be great for an upstart franchise like the Houston Rockets. As we see on the board, Magic have won 7 of the last 8 games they've played. Franz Wagner playing absolutely out of his mind right now. I see Orlando just coming up short against a Rockets team that we have seen beat the Thunder before. I see guys like Fred VanVleet playing a major part in a Rockets NBA Cup champion, making it 2 Western Conference champions in a row. And that is all I have for tonight. For more Kent State sports, head over to kentwire.com. Now I'll send it back to the desk to take a look at what's coming up.
One of the biggest artists of 2024 has just announced a set of tour dates for next spring. KSTV has updates and music and more.
Today, the world could use a little more understanding. Understanding nurtured by shared values. We come together at Kent State. Different dreams, different viewpoints, united by purpose. Preparing to make a difference in our divided world. Wherever you are in your life's journey, come learn with us. Begin at Kent State.
I got you.
Oh.
Yeah, I got him.
That stupid controller froze again.
You're only saying that because you're losing.
Bet you bought the cheap one.
My controller is junk too. Is this even real?
You're spending less, so...
Yeah? We'll just buy it again?
Smart kids.
Who are you?
Or what are you?
Hey, I was wondering if you guys wanted any... OMG, it's McGruff.
Yes, I am.
He's not my Uncle McGruff, the crime dog. He's an imposter. He's a fake. Oh!
I am McGruff, the crime dog. He is the fake. And so is that controller you're holding. It's gonna break. And that, Pops...
could blow up in your face.
That's right, Scruff. Let's take a bite out of crime together and protect ourselves against fakes. Like him. Who says you're not the fake?
Dude, you're literally missing an arm.
You are smart kids. You're smart. Buy smart.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Your community.
Your stories.
Good evening, I'm Gage Wellman, joined by Emilio Hernandez, and there are plenty of new updates and announcements in the world of gaming and on the silver screen.
Here's what's coming in the entertainment world.
In of films to theaters, and this month, is no different. To name a few, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Mufasa the Lion King, and a new addition to the Lord of the Rings franchise will all debut in December. And if you're a music fan, you'll be happy to hear that the Bob Dylan biopic starring Timothée Chalamet, titled A Complete Unknown, is releasing on Christmas Day.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? We'll find out next year in March as Disney has released its official trailer for the new live-action movie, Snow White. Rachel Zegler stars as the Tutelar Princess, while Gal Gadot plays her stepmother, the Evil Queen. The film is to be released on March 21st next year.
And sticking with Disney princesses, Moana 2 released just before Thanksgiving, and it has earned $2 million in just the first week, which is the most for a Disney animated movie in its debut. Now, Emilio, my friend, I personally, this holiday break, I will be going out and checking that Bob Dylan biopic. What about you, though? What will you see in any movies this holiday break?
Well, I don't really know.
You maybe going to see that Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And a lot of people like that, you know, especially
a real Keanu Reeves fan.
What's that? Keanu Reeves?
He's voicing Shadow, isn't he?
Yes, that's a good one. That's definitely a movie I'm excited about. My dad, I know, is a pretty big Sonic fan, so me and him might catch up on that, and then I think me and my buddies are going to check out that Bob Dylan movie. And then also as well, what did they think? Oh, that Kendrick, I can't believe the Taylor Swift Eras Tour is coming to an end.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just so many a movie was made about it, books came out. I mean, so many people I know that went to that tour. I mean, that was such a groundbreaking moment in our country's history, really just as a history as a whole. Well, that's all we have today, folks. I'm Gage Wellman.
And I'm Emilio Hernandez. Thank you for watching.
The first round of the Romanian presidential election has been annulled and needs to be redone. We'll tell you who won initially and why they'll have to try again.
Thousands of refugees flee the city of Homs in Syria as rebel forces close in on the city. We'll give you all the updates on the conflict.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a unique mix of all kinds of things. There it is. Keep going with it. Leo! They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
Kent State University's Marcello Fantoni has served on the scientific committee of the Palace of Versailles for the past decade. Through this prestigious position, Fantoni creates worldwide connections, helping Kent State students and faculty realize one-of-a-kind global experiences.
Today, Kent State University is a global university. We have a presence in every single continent of this planet. If we send our Ohio students all over the world and bring their experiences back, we create the conditions in Ohio for a much healthier and stronger development of the entire state. When you come back and you have more tools in your brain, more options for solutions, you are a more talented, a more versatile professional. And this is what the market wants today. The future of higher education is global.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money.
Jimmy can't sing, and Tommy can't dance. So we're gonna put some ants in their pants. Aww.
Kids will spend 22 minutes watching us, the super duper party troopers, sing about ants in their pants.
Isn't that funny? Ants in their pants, they've got ants in their pants, they've got ants in their pants.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Keeping you informed and ahead of the storm, this is your KSTV weather.
Good evening, everyone, again. Once again, I'm back to give you my prediction for what the weather will be like for Kent State's graduation ceremony next Saturday, December 14th. It'll be held for all degrees at the MAC. Congratulations to everyone who is graduating, and best of luck to you in the future. Here's what my prediction is for that day's weather. So on that day, it's next Saturday, it'll be mostly in the 40s throughout the day, which is a really big change from really the past week. It's mostly been in the 20s and 30s, so that'll be great for those people graduating. It'll mostly be cloudy that day, and there will be some slight winds, 9 miles per hour, but that'll be okay because graduation will be inside at the MAC, so it'll be a great day for graduates to walk across the stage and get their diplomas. And yeah, that'll be a great day. Again, like I said, it's a really big change from this past week. It's been really icy and stormy. It's been snowing off and on, but that'll be a really great change. So best of luck to all the graduates. And that's all the weather news I have for you. Thanks for staying with me as we navigate Ohio's weather. Once again, I'm Annie Graves, and I hope you all have a safe, relaxing, and festive holiday season. Stay warm out there, Flashes.
Thank you so much, Aiden. We'll do our best. This weekend, France's Notre Dame Cathedral is finally reopening. It's been 4.5 years since the shocking disaster that nearly destroyed one of the world's most famous pieces of architecture. The cathedral's interior has been entirely redone while attempting to preserve the style of the original. The city of Paris is preparing for an official ceremony on Saturday.
A synagogue caught fire in Melbourne, Australia, in what authorities suspect was an act of arson. The fire began at around 4:30 local time before it was put out by authorities, who reported that there were no injuries caused by the blaze. Local police say they have identified 2 people of interest who may be related to the incident. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has condemned the incident as an act of anti-Semitism.
Romania's first round of its presidential election has just been annulled by the nation's top court. Far-right ultranationalist candidate Călin Georgescu won by a narrow margin, but now will have to try again as the court declares that the entire process must be redone. Romania's High Court of Cassation and Justice functions similarly to the U.S.'s Supreme Court and has the final say in political matters.
Thousands have fled the city of Homs in the nation of Syria after rebel forces in the area close in on the city. The rebel militant group known as Hayat Tahrir al-Sham is currently in conflict with the Syrian government. Should the rebels capture Homs, it would leave no major cities between them and the Syrian capital of Damascus. The group also captured the city of Aleppo as well. You've heard of mistletoe and gingerbread, but have you ever wondered where those words come from? We'll tell you all about the origins of the words when we come back.
I don't remember how it started. Our back and forth. Victory. Fumble. Repeat. It always came back.
Dad!
Okay, here we go, throw it!
Yeah.
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Nice.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique. And your mother and... I am totally a hat person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
My name is Liam Aberly. I am an assistant designer here at Yellow Cake. Everything I do currently is all stuff that builds on top of things I learned at Kent.
They had a different commitment to their craft or to their major. You know, part of that is just who he is naturally, and I think part of that he gleaned and honed at, his time at Kent State.
There has been a bit of a budding scene here in Cleveland between Valerie and some other designers that live around here, and we're really starting to put Cleveland on the map in the fashion world.
Cockroaches may make your skin crawl, but what if they could also save your hide? Australian researchers are working on living biohybrid roaches that, via an attached circuit board, can take instructions, navigate natural disaster sites, locate survivors, and potentially provide aid. Some experts are calling for better regulation for the sake of ethics, while others claim the benefits are worth the risks.
You've heard of many holiday-themed words such as gingerbread or mistletoe, but do you know where they actually come from? Mistletoe comes from the Old English word mistletoe, meaning dung twig. This is because mistletoe generally grows from bird droppings. The mistletoe generally represents fertility, love, and peace, which is why it is customary to kiss a loved one right under it. You know, I mean, mistletoe, gingerbread, those are all really fun holiday traditions. I gotta ask you, Tyler, do you have any fun holiday traditions in your family?
Personally, my favorite is the gingerbread house that we build, but not because we build a gingerbread house. We build it, we eat a little bit of it, it's a good time. But once it hardens, we have a very special tradition because we like to leave it out to decorate a bit longer than you should if you actually want to eat it afterwards. So once it becomes like rock-like, we'll take it somewhere and we'll smash it collectively, and we'll have kind of a celebration. And it's very fun. It's very colorful, very explosive. And always a good time. How about you?
This might sound really weird, but actually one of my favorite holiday traditions is actually to get Chinese food on Christmas.
Do elaborate.
Yeah, so actually it all started out when I would go to my family's, my aunt's house for Christmas, and you know, we'd eat pretty early. We'd eat it at like 2 or 3, and you know, by say 6 or 7 p.m. when I get back, I'd still be hungry, and one of the few places that was open was my local Chinese restaurant, and I said, you know what, why not? I'll go grab some Peking ravioli, I'll get some chicken and broccoli, and just, you know, and honestly, I think that Chinese food tastes much better on Christmas. All I'm going to say is don't hate it till you try it. It is definitely something that I know is unique to me, but it is very good. But that is all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us.
For all of these stories and more, visit our website at kentwired.com and our socials at kentwired. For the final time this semester, I'm Tyler Schlosser.
And I'm Michael Neenan. Happy holidays, Portage County.
Without music on, check us truly at the 1975. Amen.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
Say with me, imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. 'Cause every kid across the nation deserves a book to read, and we can make it happen right now. No, I don't know what you've been told, but kids with books learn so much more. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite, unearth hidden passion. To motivate some magic, to change the writing on the wall, writing on the wall, and make a difference. One book can inspire a child. One book can be the first thing that helps to change a life.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
I surrender, I surrender.
All right, pal. Get ready for the day, buddy.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's that?
Do we have a gun?
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase.